it's a Sleazy Spader Springtime. Welcome to the show. It's a Sleazy Spader Springtime. I want you all to know that if you please, there's James Spader Sleaze and it's got nowhere else to go. So loosen all your blouses, give your nose a damn good blow, cause it's the last of our four Sleazy Spader Springtime shows. Oh yeah, for this year. Oh yeah, but who knows? Then maybe next year at this time we will do another four. But right now this is absolutely the last. Of that you can be sure. So it doesn't matter how much you say please, or if you give Jim and I a nice big squeeze. Cause I'm not just saying this to be a tease, I'm just trying to put your mind at ease. For this year we've just had enough of the sleaze, but hopefully these episodes will cause our audience to grow. Cause it's our very last 2016 Sleazy Spader Springtime show. What about this pissing weather, huh? Hello, and it is another episode of the After Movie Diner, another excellent and awesome and brilliant episode, and my co-host, Mr. Jim Wallace, is sitting opposite me looking at the menu pensively.
No, what I want to know is...
in Brooklyn at the Kellogg's Diner, having just watched another of our Sleazy Spader Springtime movies, and Jim wants to know something about the menu. Take it away, Jim.
What the hell is a pork wing?
A pork wing?
Yeah.
Is it where
should I be eating something that's made from pigs with wings?
Isn't
it like, if pigs could...
Yeah.
Right?
Is it where they take a bat and claim that it's pork?
Yeah, see, I'm really tempted.
What is a pork wing?
Kansas City pork wing. Like, it sounds really good.
Right.
But...
Have you got your phone on you? Can you Google this, sucker?
Oh, good call.
What is a Kansas City pork wing when it's at home?
No, you know what? No,
flapping about and oinking and dropping little curly flops on the floor.
I'm kind of tempted.
I'm assuming, you see, that because pigs have curly tails that they do curly plops, but that probably isn't accurate.
They don't go through the tail and then out.
I understand that, but for some reason in my mind, the plops match the tails. I don't know why, because nature is...
You know what? I was under the impression that the dark corners of your mind that I didn't know about, that I wanted to stay that way, but actually I've changed my mind. I want to hear everything. I want to hear every mad thought.
I would imagine that instead of pork wings, what it means is pork ribs. I would imagine that's a typo.
It's not a typo, is it? It's Kansas City pork wings. Like, that's a
well,
thing.
I would imagine they're ribs.
It's an appetizer. Maybe they're ribs. Yeah, maybe it's ribs.
So anyway...
sorry, I didn't mean to...
It's absolutely fine. You're only the co-host of the show.
Apologies,
for the love
listeners.
Of Christ.
God, when are you going to grow some professionalism?
So... we just sat through The Watcher, which is James Spader, what's her name? I wanted to say Isabella Rossellini. I'm like, no, that's not right. Marissa Tomei and Keanu Reeves. Which was... hang on a second while I do this, because I have to look up who directed it, because while I was looking up trivia on IMDb, I didn't, however, look up who directed it, because I'm a bit of a pillock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wanted to know about him.
That's why I'm looking up.
All right.
It's all right. He's got a horrible name. Joe Charbanic.
Right. What else has he done?
The Watcher, Haunted Ship, and Point Society.
Ah, so nothing.
No, he did Date Night in 2013.
Date Night?
Nasty. No, different Date Night. Looks like a slasher movie. Suicide Party in 2015. Nasty Habits.
So nothing.
It looks all a bit.
He's one of those guys you're talking about that gets the films on Netflix that are in a warehouse,
right?
Shot with 4 blokes.
Well, he's actually only directed 2 movies. Well, no, he's actually only directed one, which is The Watcher.
Colour me surprised.
Day Night is a
not
short.
quite, actually. We need a bit more.
Yeah.
Do you know what you want?
I know what I want.
Oh, bollocks.
It's all right. No, take it.
No, because I want to ask a question. What exactly is a Kansas City pork wing? What is that?
Because pigs don't have wings, so we're confused.
It looks like it's just a chunk of pork.
Right, okay.
I guess they call it that way because it looks almost like the buffalo wing, like the chicken wing from the
Right, okay. But it's just
Pretty
pork.
much has that shape, but yeah, it's pork.
I see, okay. You know what?
Kansas, I guess that's where it comes from.
I'm gonna get the Kansas City pork wing. I'm gonna give it a try. Can't do me.
And you want the sauce on or on the side?
No, I'll have it, in whatever it was, in it. Not on the side. Of
And
it.
then?
Cooked in it. Sorry. And can I get a chamomile tea to drink?
You get one martini?
A chamomile tea.
Totally.
Close though.
And then?
Yeah, can I get the popcorn shrimp?
Okay.
Where is that? That's in the appetizer, right?
Right.
Popcorn shrimp and the disco fries, please. With American cheese.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm good with just water.
No drink?
No, that's it. Thank
I
you.
might try to get you drunk.
No, that's all good, man.
Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much, thank you.
So, sorry, we're going
So
back
only
to
one
the
movie.
record.
He only directed this film.
He only
I
directed
wonder where
this
my
movie.
surprised face is.
Right.
I know it's around here
Day
somewhere.
Night, that I previously mentioned, was actually a short,
Right.
which is the only other thing he's directed. Weirdly enough, after the feature film.
Yes, I would think he would have to go back to the drawing board after this.
Which is odd, because normally one does a short and then...
Well, unless you direct this film, in which case you're not allowed to make films again.
Ever
And
again.
Presumably.
And what's interesting
He went,
is...
what if I make a really short one? I promise it'll be better. They went, all right, but if
It
it's
wasn't.
not,
Yeah. No indication as to whether he made music videos and or advertisements before this movie, so
he
unfortunately...
did, but it was probably for like Steve's Garage in
Steve's-
Chicago.
yeah.
Whatever.
Steve's-
Steve's Chicago Garage,
Chicago,
which
yeah,
sounds
so-
like a euphemism.
Yeah. Joe's...
Oh, so close. You had the Joe's part, right? But the kicker, the comedy kicker at the end,
Hang on,
deserted you.
Skipper Joe's Crab House.
Skipper Joe's Crab House. Nah,
Probably.
I'm not sure it was worth the wait.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. My improvisational skills are not quite twinged
So
right now.
should we?
Hang on a second.
No,
Hang on a
because
second.
I have an interesting question.
The rest of
Right, sorry,
his
yes.
IMDb.
Is it a grovelling apology?
No.
Is it photos of him on his knees holding
Yes.
a
rest
a
of
sign that
his-
says "I'm really sorry"
The rest
about
of his
the Watcher?
IMDb resume.
I didn't know what I was doing.
It's all just like.
I'm a hack. I'm
Yeah.
a giant hack.
All right, we understand what you feel about the director. Don't put the considerably large, smelly, pus-filled cart before the horse.
Right, fair enough.
However, he has just done like consulting producer and executive producer, which means don't put him anywhere near creative.
Yeah, consulting.
ever again.
Consulting producers. Should we do this? He goes, "Yeah, I think that'd be a really good idea." Don't do that.
Don't do that. Whatever
bring him
Joe,
on.
Charm, and X says.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Sorry, I
the
do
interesting
beg your
story about The Watcher is that Keanu Reeves was actually courted for the movie a long time before the movie was made. So definitely pre-Matrix. Right. But the reason why I know this was made after The Matrix is that his dancing in the warehouse to the Rob Zombie track, which is apparently a Rob Zombie track, is apparently and the reason why he's doing like the Tai Chi stuff is apparently a homage to The Matrix. That's apparently true. So anyway, this is the interesting story, because I was expecting, like with Supernova, that we were going to find out this was, originally directed by, Scorsese and re-edited by, I don't know, Russ Abbott or someone.
That is a film I would like to see.
But what actually happened was he was courted ages ago from an original script, right?
Yes, which was good. I can see how that would work.
To which he agreed to do it and take scale, right?
Right.
Which is like...
Thank you very much.
Because, Keanu had already been a big star for a long time.
Right.
And in fact, looking in the back, had already starred with Spader in two previous films way back in the 80s. One called The New Kids, where Spader plays the bad guy and Keanu plays the good guy. So this was meant to be like the big return to screen for Spader and Keanu,
Right.
only this time the roles are reversed.
Yeah, I'm sure you're overstating the popularity.
Yeah, I
of
am
whatever film it
completely.
was.
Yeah, right. So, Keanu Reeves agrees to do it. skip forward like 5 years or whatever, and Keanu Reeves finds out that while he's agreed to scale like 5 years previously, they've used his name to get Spader and Tomei on the picture, and have offered them $1 million each. Right. To which Keanu goes, "I'm sorry, what?" Right. And they go, "Yeah, we're whatever." And he's like, "But I'm signed up for scale. Like I've signed." And they're like, "Uh-huh." That, right? So instead of walking away from the picture because he remembered what happened with Kim Basinger in Boxing Helena, where she like got into a whole bunch of legal things because she left the picture, he agrees to do the picture and not badmouth it in interviews, right? If his role is considerably expanded, because originally the reason why he agreed to scale was it was just meant to be like a little cameo, right? Which, weirdly enough, when I saw this way back when, I remember, or I thought that it was just like, I thought that you saw him in shadow and you only revealed it. But actually, no, he's in it all the way through and has dialogue and everything else. So anyway, he agrees if he can beef up the roles. So the whole film is kind of rewritten to make it more about like Spader and Reeves. And like when it comes out, like he obviously doesn't badmouth it, but he doesn't want to promote it either. You know what I mean? But that was the big like hullabaloo behind the scenes of this.
It's so weird because you would think, under the circumstances, that if you found out that Spader and Tomei were getting $1 million each and you were getting paid to scale, that you would want less to do, not more.
Right.
Like, why would you go, oh, if you're going to pay me less money than them,
Yeah.
I want to do more work. I want to be in set more. Why would you?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's really weird.
But that's what it says on it.
No. I'm sure you're right. I mean, okay, look. Certainly explains why. At some point, there was a good story and a good script. But you can see it's in there,
Right.
and there's even some interesting ideas and how tension would work.
The last thing that is going to boggle your fucking mind.
Okay.
So it's made with independent financiers, right?
Right.
But then, I kid you not, there is a bidding war. There was a bidding war between like Universal and Paramount over who got to release this. Universal ended up paying $5 million for this piece of shit to get the distribution rights, which in like 1999 or whatever was pretty big.
Maybe they got into the bidding war because of The Matrix.
Yeah, and because they had like Reeves and Spader, they could sell on the back of. But also interesting enough, it comes out only on video in like foreign territories. It goes straight to video.
What I don't get is how is he so fat in the movie? How is Reeves so fat?
I think it's the hair and the jacket.
No, he's fat. He's fat and out of shape. Matrix, he's obviously, very
Right.
fit
Well, maybe
and
after he finishes the Matrix, he goes on a 4-month binge.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, presumably, you have to get... Like, he's supposed to be, like, gaunt in that film, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he, like, goes on some... Because he looks younger in The Matrix. He looks old and fat in this. So maybe you're right. Maybe he just eats cheeseburgers for 4 months and then does this movie. I mean, he obviously... What's weird is he obviously doesn't care about this film at all. And yet he wants more... He wants more to do. I don't get it. Anyway, look.
Also, weirdly enough, considering I'm not a big fan of Keanu Reeves and still claim the only thing he's actually good at is being in Bill and Ted. However, and I would also say, like, when he's doing action but doesn't have any lines. Like, I really like him in John Wick, but he has no lines, so that perfectly works. Because he's really good.
We know how I feel about John Wick.
Right.
Move on.
But he's really good
Move
physically,
on.
is what I'm saying.
Right, yeah.
However, in this, where he plays a bad role, and he also, don't forget, tries to do a bad role in The Gift as well, and I think kind of miserably fails, although a lot of critics at the time kind of gave The Gift kudos because Reeves was apparently good in it, which I don't think he is. I actually thought, apart from the naff dancing, I actually thought when he was delivering lines and kind of doing, he wasn't bad in this.
Are you mental?
For Keanu Reeves, who is awful in most things.
No, he was terrible from start to finish. He was unengaged. He was bored. He was a walking cliche in a terrible jacket.
Well,
he was abysmal.
I actually thought, like, when he was doing the back and forth of Spader in the car and the back and forth of Spader in the phone.
That was terrible. That was so
quite good.
weak. I can see it makes so much sense.
The script is weak, but I think you have to put it in context that Keanu Reeves is awful and wooden in everything. even like his best movies, Speed and The Matrix, he's awful and wooden in everything.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he was slightly less awful and wooden. He was still awful and wooden, but slightly less. For Reeves,
All right,
it was a masterclass.
All right, I'll
performance.
give you that.
That's why.
Let's just
Anyway,
let's
I've done enough. Over to you.
No. I'm just saying, because I'm genuinely interested to know what your response to this is, because I'm not sure what my response is.
Okay.
Should people watch this?
All right. The caveat to should people watch this is how much tolerance do you have for the could have been the pilot of a fairly weak cop show style thriller starring two reasonably watchable people. Like, if you have a tolerance, like, I have a strange tolerance for that. I also really like detective things, even if they're horribly cheesy and
Yeah,
hokey.
no, me too. I'd say that there's a period, which I'm guessing is the largest chunk that survives from the original script, because it doesn't have much.
Like the middle 45
Yeah, because it doesn't have much of Keanu in it. The bits when Keanu's not on screen,
Right.
where we find out what a fuck up Spader is, and him being dragged out of that and into that first missing case, that's quite good.
Yeah.
And there's bits in it again that I think all the bits I think survive from the original script, like the conversation he has with the cop when the cop's chasing in the car. Anyway, you know what? We'll get to all that.
Right.
But the point is, there is an original script that was clearly quite good and quite compelling.
Right.
And I think that Spader is really good in it. Again, he's doing something different from the other movies he's been in.
Yeah.
What disappoints me most, by the way, about a Sleazy Spader Springtime is I've enjoyed Spader in every movie, and every movie has been woefully short of his ability. Like, we haven't seen a good, like, just a straight up, yes, you need to see this film, right? Which saddened me because he's been really good. The directing, which I will get to, is so monumentally crass and awful that it derails it does its best to derail the picture. And the extra Keanu Reeves bits, which now make sense because they don't make any sense.
Right.
It's not only cliched, it's obviously tosh that the people that wrote it don't even believe.
Right.
Because it devolves into, so why did you follow him to Chicago? Well, he needs me as much as I need him. And it was bollocks. And then they tried to do a thing in the car with Reeves and Spader that you were talking about, where it's supposed to be like, oh, they're making a connection, but it was.
No, it wasn't that I liked. What I liked was the way Keanu did when he asked, oh, do you have any real siblings? And Keanu, like, turned on a dime and was like, what the fuck? Like, don't try and psycho.
No, I hate that. That was so cliche and awful.
You're being really loud. Anyway.
I'm always really loud.
Yeah, I know, but there's not a lot of people in here, so.
Look, I wouldn't even be the 87th most annoying, loudest, or mad thing that anybody in this diner has seen today.
Okay, all right. Anyway.
Did you just sigh out there?
Yeah, I did.
Did my behaviour just cause you to sigh?
Yeah, it did.
All right.
So anyway, we've come to that point in our podcast.
This is the end of the Spader Sleazy Spader Springtime.
No, what I was going to say was, it's not that it isn't horribly hoary and cliche. Of course it is, but the way he delivered it for Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I will say this: you do have a better ability than me to compartmentalise what's going on.
Right.
If I buy what's happening,
right,
I'll forgive a lot of things because I'm swept up in the story.
Right.
You, however, can acknowledge, like, say with John Wick, for example, that the action is really good and it's shot really nice and the pace is really great and the ideas are very cool. Yeah. And you can say, yes, of course Keanu Reeves is wooden. Keanu Reeves is always wooden. And of course it would be better, with somebody else. But given what the film is and the action that it needs him to be in it, otherwise the action won't work. So that's why I'm okay with him being in it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, you've always had that ability, which I admire. When you're watching a terrible film, you can enjoy, like, different parts of it. So
I would argue that in this movie, despite the repetition of the MacGuffin, well, not MacGuffin, but of the
it's the same shit over and over again.
No, but of the technique of we're going to have a clock counting down. He's got to find the chick by 9 o'clock. Blah 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 blah. Considering that's done twice, I thought the tension was actually kept quite nice. And considering the director was a horrible.
Agreed, but again, I think that was almost so.
So anyway,
okay, but in answer,
talk about the plot.
Okay. So, but quickly, in answer to the question, should people watch it or not? I would have to say, if you found yourself on an aeroplane only showing one movie and this was the movie, it would be fine. It would be fine. It wouldn't be the worst thing ever. But I can't in all good conscience say to people that they should watch it.
To me, this is the kind of movie that should be on Netflix. This is a Netflix movie, if ever there was one. And I know you said that if it was on Netflix, you'd turn off after 5 minutes. But I actually think that the whole point of Netflix, especially if you've bothered to subscribe to it and paying for it anyway, is that movies like this, I don't have to go on Amazon and pay $3 for, because they're on Netflix for free. These are the kind of movies that should be on Netflix for free.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
You shouldn't have to go on Amazon and rent this, because no, it's not worth the rental. But if it was on Netflix and you were like,
Yeah, but it will at some
Spader
point.
versus Reeves.
But here's the thing.
It won't, because Netflix
No,
is
I've
just going
seen
to
it
get
on-
bought up by NBC and everything else. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Carry on.
Netflix isn't getting bought by
Netflix is just going to be loaded with TV shows and crap for the rest of time. It's already going downhill as we speak. Anyway, carry on.
Well, it's already going downhill because it's more expensive for them. They used to be able to have everything, right? For a while they had everything
And then people
because when they
copped
bought
it
the
up.
rights to the DVDs, they also bought streaming, and nobody knew what the fuck that was.
Right.
As soon as those deals ran out,
Yeah.
they're fucked. Now, what they do now is they have to negotiate deals
Yeah, I get it.
with. No, but what I'm saying is they have to negotiate deals with bigger, Warner Brothers or Paramount or whatever.
Shrimp?
That's fine. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Pork wings.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
You see how they look like the buffalo wings?
Yes, I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying. They are enormous as well. So thank you.
Did you get anything else, or did you just?
No, I just got this. This will do me, I think.
Oh, you can have some of my fries.
Okay, thanks very much, man. Thank you. Thanks.
thank
Cheers.
No, I get it, dude. I get it. And the studios don't want stuff like this on Netflix anymore. That was my whole point.
No.
Because they now have to negotiate.
I don't think that, because I think there are films like this on Netflix, but it'll be like. First of all, this has been on Netflix, and I'm sure it will be on Netflix again. The next time, who did you say it was? Universal.
Yeah, Universal.
So the next time they cut a deal with Universal, they'll throw in The Watcher as part of the package.
They look really good, by the way.
Yeah. I think I might have to use a knife and fork then. However, I know what you mean, and I do sort of agree with you. And yeah, but actually I would, no. Okay, actually I think exactly the opposite. If this being on Netflix, I would not, as discussed, I wouldn't have gotten past the first 2 minutes because of how bad the directing was and Keanu Reeves' stupid dancing and how badly his stupid dancing was filmed.
you're missing my
I would
point.
stop. No, I'm not.
I'm saying-
What I'm saying, no, but listen. I'm saying I could recommend this film if it was on a TV channel at 2 a.m. And when you've got like basic cable and you've only got 5 channels,
Right.
and it's a choice between 24-hour news,
Right.
the Open University, some kind of mad game show on Channel 5,
Right.
and this is showing on ITV.
You're talking about the UK now.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Right.
Then, yeah, it'd be okay. You could watch it and you'd be all right.
Well,
Only under those circumstances.
no, I disagree. But anyway, I say that if you want to see a fairly run of the mill with some saying interesting is too generous, but some decent ideas
Yeah. There's some decent ideas buried in there.
with both a brilliant but also laughably awful Spader performance, and he dances that line pretty joyously.
I thought he was good in this.
No, but he is good in this. But you're massively forgetting that ridiculous scene where he wakes up with apparently a migraine and then does the most hilarious pantomime trying to get out some non-existent migraine syringe and stick it into his cock.
Yeah, no, it was weird. It was weird. So, okay.
So yeah.
So,
Tell us
shall I do the plot? Shall I do the plot such as it is?
yeah, go ahead.
All right.
This one you might actually be able to do.
All right, okay. Hey, I'm not the one that... You're the one that gets bogged down in, like... By the time you're done describing the plot of the movie, we might as well have watched the movie.
People love
and then
it.
And then he walks into the flat, and then he looks around. I think his shirt's red. I think it's a red shirt. Anyway, actually, the red shirt comes back into it later, so let's say red. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, he walked into the... Fucking hell. All right.
People love it when we bicker.
My speed summary is... James Spader is ex-FBI agent, hiding out, basically, in Chicago after suffering, presumably because of how his last case ended, neurological, damage. And he's got migraines and he's not well.
Taking pills,
Right.
injecting himself in the cock.
He's not a well lad.
He's going to a therapist.
Anyway, the serial killer, who he was hunting at the time
In LA.
in LA, at the time of his traumatic, brain whatever, finds him in Chicago and starts sending him photographs of the women that he's about to kill, giving Spader and the FBI that he's now gone back to work for 24 hours to find the women before he kills them.
He's gone back to work for the Chicago PD.
No, he's gone back to work for the FBI. It's Ernie Hudson and Thingamajig are at the FBI, and they're working in conjunction with the Chicago PD.
All right.
And then there's a couple of girls go missing. They fail to find them in time, and that's, if there's anything there that's kind of interesting, it's the idea that even though they've got a whole day with a woman's picture and all the news and all the papers and all the flyers, they can't get anybody to recognise these people. They can't get anybody to care, which I think was like the point of the movie in the first place.
Also, there's two things.
No, don't derail my summary.
All right, Jesus.
And then this all leads eventually, as I'm sure you can guess, to a denouement where Keanu Reeves, the serial killer, lures Spader into what he imagines is a trap, but is in fact his own downfall. The end. See? That was fucking awesome as a summary.
Yeah, you missed two major points of information.
Yeah, but it's not like, the end. Yeah, the end of the podcast. Now you'll just be sounds of us eating for the next half hour. Obviously, we're going to talk about this. This is your. You don't have to mention absolutely everything that happened in the movie for the summary to be effective. You said you can do a broad sweep of what we're talking about, that they can then fit in what we're saying into the idea of the
Your
movie.
hilarious attack on me notwithstanding.
It's not hilarious, it's just accurate.
The denouement features...
Devastatingly so.
Okay.
Go on, the denouement what?
So he's seeing a therapist when he's in Chicago, played by Marissa Tomei.
Right.
Right. Which, of course, the moment you know he starts sending photos of women to Spader, and the moment that he says to her, if it was your daughter in the photo, would you want me after it? And she says yes, which is that combined with Reeves calling him one night is what actually leads him to go back on the case.
I didn't say any different.
No, hang on a second.
All right.
Jesus. Fuck. That bit, right? Even though you know at the very beginning of the movie she's going to be the last one kidnapped, right? And he's going to have to save her. The fact that he had a therapist is important. Yep, everything's great, man. As always, thank you. She's obviously going to be the one at the end in the denouement. And, most importantly, the reason why he left the case and left LA is that the last victim of Keanu Reeves was a woman that he may or may not have been sleeping with. There was no, it was indicated that he was, but we have no other evidence other than he feels to take it on personally. But he could also take it on personally.
Well, Reeves said he was.
Yeah, but there's apart from the evidence of a madman, we have no actual. We don't see him.
I wonder if that was...
We've seen them touching hands, I suppose, and her dancing on the beach in a Jane's Addiction video.
Oh, is that what... God, I tuned out. All of the really...
But anyway,
all of the really crappy, generic, shitty directing inserts, I totally tuned out.
Yeah, because he keeps having dreams and flashbacks, and Keanu Reeves' eyes apparently only work like a mid-90s
Oh my god!
camcorder.
Oh, that's so bad.
So every time
we
time we see Reeves' point of view, it's a bad mid-90s.
But it's so okay. First of all, let's just
high-8 camcorder. But no, just to finish my thing before we get derailed. He bursts in on Keanu Reeves during his last kill in LA before he's killed the woman, and the woman is tied to a chair. Spader doesn't realise that she's surrounded by kerosene, unties her mouth, but leaves her tied to the chair because Reeves is getting away and he wants to chase after Reeves. Halfway down the road, chasing after Reeves, suddenly hears the screams and the fire and everything else, and turns back to go get her. So he both loses Reeves, but also the woman is engulfed by flames, and that is the only death that Reeves has like caused that Spader also blames himself for, because he had to make the choice: do I go after the villain or save the girl? And actually, he went after the villain, didn't get the villain, and then also tried to save the girl and didn't save the girl. So like, that's the big thing weighing over him. And if it was any better director, we would have understood that at the beginning instead of wanky flashbacks throughout the whole thing and
it was,
music videos.
it wasn't well.
Which meant that when we first see Spader like popping pills and injecting his knob with whatever, which is again never shown, we don't quite know why he's doing it. We just think it's a hilarious cliche of the shambolic, rundown, awful detective living in squalor, and
Which it is.
which it is. There is one scene in the movie where Spader, having done said ridiculous shuffling around his apartment in the most slow, pantomimic, shambling way, goes over to his couch, slobbily, if this is possible, peels an orange by just like sticking his thumb in it, while looking at, no word of a joke, a lingerie catalogue. Because I presume they assume that, oh, if we had porn, it would be like an R rated, so we'll go for a PG-13 or something.
It was R-rated.
Well, I don't understand why he was looking through why a grown man in the 2000s
I think
or
we both know why.
1999 would be looking through a lingerie
I
catalogue.
think we both know why.
Because it's Spader.
Because Spader looked at the script and went, what do you mean there's no boobs? What do you mean I don't get to look at, I don't get to ogle anybody?
No, but my point is, why is it not porn? Like, why doesn't he go back and turn on the Playboy channel or whatever?
I'm guessing because...
Why is he thumbing through the
I'm guessing because
Macy's lingerie catalogue?
I'm guessing because they were going for something, I don't know, more...
What,
you
like
know-
he's a 14-year-old schoolboy?
Not like lost. No, that he's lost. You know? Rather than... He's lost rather than willingly embracing this lifestyle. Like, he doesn't have an empty fridge because he doesn't care and, how shambolic. He has an empty fridge because he forgets to bring groceries. He forgets to shop for himself. Like, there's a feeling of him being lost and disconnected, which again, with a little bit more time to breathe, like, he just gets back in the case because of reasons. No, there weren't even any reasons. He's just back on the case.
No. He gets a phone call from Reeves
Right.
saying, by 9 o'clock
yeah.
tomorrow night, this girl will be dead. I've sent you her picture, do it or don't, basically.
Right.
Coupled with Marissa Tomei saying, I want you on the case. And she's...
Yeah, but there should have been more to it.
No, but as she says during one of their therapy sessions, the only thing you remember to do is come here twice a week. Because he says, I forget to get groceries, I forget where I live, I turn up places, I don't know what I'm doing there, I shuffle about, I pop pills,
Right.
I inject my upper thigh with magic migraine juice,
Right.
or whatever it is, right?
Right.
So, it's that, in other words, her belief in him,
Right.
coupled with Reeves actually saying, this girl will die, whether you're on the case or not, but at least if you're on the case, you might have a chance to save her. And this is what I'm saying. If we understood at the beginning that his last case in LA went awry because he failed to save someone he could have saved because he chose to go after Keanu,
Right.
we would understand more his impetus for getting back on the case. Because what Keanu is saying is, you failed to save that one in LA, didn't you?
Yeah.
So why not save this? Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
munching my way through these. Please take
No,
them off.
it's fine. No. You make a good point. Look,
In a better written script, better directed, that would have been obvious, is what I'm saying.
so, first of all, you're right. Those were two important bits of information that did need to be in the summary.
It's also still a
Hold on my
hoary
hands.
old cliche. It's
So I
still
hold on
hoary
my
old-
hands. I
You
was
hold
wrong.
it
They should have been in there.
now. I'm going to insert a round of applause right now,
That's
and
fine.
maybe some
Of course,
cheering.
it did take you 20 minutes to make those 2 points.
Yeah,
But
come on.
nonetheless, that's my fault.
I'm nothing if
I
not
left
a
them
rambler.
out. I left them out.
I'm nothing if not
They
a
needed to be
rambler.
rambled about.
I
Right.
do ramble. It's
So-
one of the charms of this show. Said nobody ever.
You've always got a problem. If it's story by bloke and written by bloke and bloke, well, usually it'll be story by bloke and then written by same bloke and another bloke,
Right.
which means it was a script and it got rewritten. Probably a few times, but basically that's what happened. But this is story by a bloke and another bloke, so it's not an ampersand, it's an and, which means two different people came
We've
up with
had
the
this.
story.
Yeah, you've mentioned this
and then it was
before,
written
right,
by
right.
two different guys, which means it was rewritten to shit.
Lots of fingers in the pie.
Right, which
Right.
is never a good sign.
No.
And then, coupled with the fact that within, I knew from the first shot of the film that it was going to be bad because it was the camera sweeps across the water at speed, pull up to reveal the shining city on the shore.
You forget the 5-minute title sequence with the
Yeah, that was really bad.
I know a flashy digital effect that's on my
But what was cool about it?
camera.
When I say cool, utterly baffling. And maybe you're right. Maybe I did know before that shot, although that was not, that was not good. And certainly Keanu Reeves is dancing the way that was shot was bad. But
Well, he's dancing using a strobe effect on a early digital camera. It's awful.
yeah, it was really. You're right. It was like.
It was like he got into the edit suite and went, oh, wait a minute, I can make it go strobe. Wait a minute, I can make it flash. Wait a minute, I can make it go, what do they call it? Damn it, negative, like the negative effect.
That's what it reminded me of.
He had a board of buttons where he was like, oh, I can do this, and he just did that for the whole movie.
It reminded me.
He reminded me of my movie.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's what I knew. It reminded me of something. It reminded me of those films you used to make when you were 17.
For college,
Yeah.
When I was...
That's new. I wonder why it brought back such horrible flashbacks.
That's why I said he's a film student.
Right, that makes sense.
Because I was sat, right?
Yeah.
I made a shitty short film with you that was really awful. That I didn't actually, to be fair to me, didn't direct or have anything to do with the writing. I just...
What were the ones that
you
used to always start with you getting out of bed and lighting a cigarette?
They're the ones John wrote. and I directed. They're the ones I did direct. Anyway.
Right.
But it was me getting into an early edit suite with a edit board and going, wait a minute, I can do this transition that looks like a keyhole, or oh wait a minute, I can do a strobe effect, or wait a minute, I can do flashy lights, or I can up the chroma key,
That
or
is
whatever.
exactly what it was. Right.
Look, and when you're 17, that's when you're meant to fuck around and put strobe effects.
By the way, no, wait
bullshit
a
on your
minute,
film.
wait a minute. People might be getting confused here. They might think that we're saying that they use some flashy effects and it reminds us of the kind of decisions that Rossi made. No. It reminds us of those effects.
Right.
They were really terrible.
Right.
They looked like some bloke who didn't know what he was doing, aged about 17, had just discovered a strobe. It's not the decision that we question, although we do. Way, way, way beyond that, way above that, is how bad the effects were. And for him to think, this looks cool. What it reminded me of, as well, not the strobe effects so much, but every time he wanted something dramatic to happen, it would do that thing where, you reverse the colours, where everything's
Negative,
white.
that's what I just said.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that is like, those bits reminded me of those half-hour true crime, like FBI files things, when it goes, and then he forgot his keys. It goes bang.
Right.
That kept happening throughout the movie as well.
But that's what I mean. It's like the crew that were too cheap to film early episodes of the X-Files were given a cop drama to film for Canadian television.
Yeah.
And then they decided to release it as a movie. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It was all the way through. That was bad. The thing that you were talking about okay.
The soundtrack is one of the most schizophrenic, eclectic, maddening soundtracks on the planet.
My guess is, if Universal brought it out for distribution,
they pumped a load of their artists.
they'd have pumped a load of their own artists.
Hence why Rob Zombie shows up on the bloody soundtrack.
And while you're right, it's goes from standard it's a love theme to drum and bass. It's really weird.
Right. But not only really weird, so wildly inappropriate to what was going on as well, right? Because you literally cut away from our hero, right? Our hero's would-be girlfriend, currently shrink, tied up in a warehouse, covered in kerosene, with candles everywhere, possibly about to burn to death, with Keanu Reeves waving a gun. And we cut away to some shots we've already seen of Ernie Hudson getting in a helicopter, coupled with and I'm like, this is not increasing the dramatic attention. This is just making me think he has a wanky 90s CD library that he wanted to.
But there were two things that made me realise that there was that one thing where I realised that it's not just that he's a hack with terrible taste. Although clearly he's just inexperienced, actually. When you look back
he is also a hack.
But he is definitely a hack. There was this really weird sequence in the warehouse, about 3/4 of the way through the movie, where Keanu Reeves is walking through the warehouse, and both me and Crossy at the same time went, hang on, that's not Keanu Reeves.
No.
It's pretty obviously a stuntman in a silly wig. And we're not talking about like a brief fleeting moment. Like an
Whole
extended
section,
scene of him walking through a warehouse is obviously another actor with a wig on.
Right.
And what's weird is there's shots of Keanu in the warehouse.
Right.
This is not like, oh, we better insert a warehouse scene here because the movie's too short or whatever.
Right.
It's like...
Because the one thing this movie was too short. They could have done with about 20 minutes.
And then again, a bit later, there's Spader's looking around with a torch, and then it cuts to an actor, obviously not Spader, looking around the same place with a torch, but like from a distance. And you're thinking, all right, so it's not that you had to go back and do reshoots to add things in. You had to go back and do reshoots because you didn't get the coverage. You didn't get enough shots.
Yeah.
Because you're an idiot. I mean, I can tell you're an idiot. I've been watching your film. And as for there's a thing, and it's so... Again, this speaks to inexperience more than anything.
Right.
There's a thing where every time you see something from Keanu Reeves' point of view, it's as if it's a video camera, right?
Yeah, and not even a good one, like a mid-90s, high-end...
Right.
Yeah, like a shitty...
video camera. I'm almost in a movie thinking, how's he getting away with following these women in broad daylight, holding a camera?
Yeah, because at one point, he's really close up to a window, and I'm like, look, I'll buy someone doesn't notice a man just hanging out on a street corner.
Right.
But what I don't buy is people don't notice someone with a hoary, great mid-90s camcorder strapped to his mush, pointing it through a window.
Well, we find out how he can get away with it.
We do find out.
Because he doesn't have a camera.
No.
This is an artistic construct of
Yeah.
Keanu's point of view.
It's a stylistic choice, and we only find this out when he, under shady... Well, he follows Spader to his therapist.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And the moment Spader finishes his session, goes into the therapist as a possible prospective client, right? And we suddenly see him, like, ogle Marissa Tomei, look at the filing cabinets where Spader's tape might be, look at various things in the room. And we're like, hang on a minute, this is all filmed with a video camera, but he's not got a video camera.
Yeah.
So we're like, so wait a minute, it's Keanu's vision. That was
vision.
so weird.
How about...
Also, if Keanu Vision, I don't know, had like some faded red flames around the edge of it and like demons dancing, at least it would have been interesting. At least it would have been like everything but the fries, I think. We're still eating the fries. Had it been some sort of mad thing where you can have the rest of it.
Oh, no, I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah.
Had it been some mad thing where, as he looked around, like have you seen Kids in the Hall, Death Comes to Town?
No, I still haven't. I really want to.
But in that,
That was IFC, wasn't it?
Yeah, in that there's a co-produced with Canadian television. But like in that, they have a little mentally handicapped child who sees everyone as walking butterflies. Right. All the humans as like badly animated butterflies. If you had it that Keanu Reeves, this serial killer, was going through the world seeing everyone as badly animated demons or something, at least that would have been a decision. You could go, it was a bad decision, but at least it made some sort of character sense. Him seeing like a grainy...
But that's it's that film, like you're talking about, that film school and experience, that also leads to the frankly insecure plot reminders.
Oh yeah,
like
all the way
2 minutes
through.
afterwards, you go, you must sit, like, there's a bit where, like, Keanu Reeves calls him up because you've got till 9 a.m. to save the bird or she's dead, right? Literally the next scene, he opens up a card and there's a voice going, remember, 9 o'clock, or she dies. Yeah, we know. There was a more egregious... Because that was like the second or third time it happened. The first time it happened was so... What was the first time it happened? Because it was so weirdly... We know.
Well, that was that bit.
No. There was something before then that was. It wasn't like, oh, you have the 9 to save. It was something that was so weirdly prosaic. It's like, why are you reminding us of that? We just saw that happen.
Yeah, but all through the movie. I can't even remember.
It did happen all the way through the movie.
And also there was no consistency with it either. Like sometimes when Keanu was in the house, you'd have the negative flash and you'd see him in negative for a minute, and other times you didn't. And like sometimes this happened. Sometimes like I don't know, there would be like a slow-mo strobe effect, Dutch angle, like digital Dutch angled camera roaming around, filming them in slow motion. And other times there wouldn't be. You know, it was just like whatever he wanted to do. And it reminds me. I remember because I did the same course at Guildford Sixth Form College.
By the way,
that I did at university, right? But at Guildford Sixth Form College, they weren't expecting like university quality stuff. They just wanted to see that you could work as a team, or use a camera, use lighting, whatever, right? And produce a variety of stuff. But I never forget the first lesson in video production we had at my university. So you skip forward a couple of years, and I'm now at college. He goes, I don't want to see any widescreen bars. I don't want to see any black and white. I don't want to see any strobe effects. Like, he laid it out. Like, he was like, every single project we got when people first came across, like, editing for the first time, had fucking widescreen bars on it, was in black and cocking white, and had a bunch of strobe effects in it. And he went, I don't want that. He goes, just take the cameras we have and film it the way we
And this was, what year was this?
That was, weirdly enough, that was 2000. 99, 2000. Yeah,
No, okay, 2000. And in the thriving metropolis of...
High Wycombe.
High Wycombe. So in High Wycombe...
But that is in Buckinghamshire, which is a nest of filmmaking in the UK. Because they have a studio in Buckinghamshire, don't they? There's a couple of big studios.
Oh, okay, well, but still, you feel like...
No, you're right.
You feel like High Wycombe should be behind LA.
Yeah, it should be, yeah. I really wish that my old film studies teacher had sat this guy down halfway through making
I'm starting to feel sorry for him.
Yeah, no widescreen, mate, no negatives.
While I was watching it, I was getting so angry what a hack he was.
Yeah.
But now we're talking about it, and you're right, that's what it reminds me of, the 17-year-old film student. I'm starting to feel a bit sorry for him.
No, don't feel sorry for
the
him,
constant
dude.
plot reminders were like insecurity.
No, I think the constant... dude, I honestly think...
Wait. Try and imagine his face when he realised he didn't have the coverage in the warehouse scene. And he was going to have to stick a wig on some random bloke to make his film work.
Well...
Oh no, like we've all had those moments at work where you go, oh no,
except,
he did that.
Except, if that happened to you and me, right, let's say it's our first Hollywood feature,
right.
and we're like, oh fuck, we forgot to film Keanu in the warehouse. We had him, we just didn't shoot him, right? We would maybe go, okay, we'll put a wig on his stunt double, but what we wouldn't do is film him in slow motion, coming up so close to the camera, he could probably breathe on it. We would have kept him in the shadows, behind a pillar, we would have...
You know why? I think it's because he didn't tell anybody. I think he found out, didn't tell anybody, because the whole thing reeked of, no, it's Keanu. Look,
it's fine.
I'm getting close to him. Obviously, I'm keeping him in shadow because that would be mysterious. But yeah, it's him. Yeah. It's not far away to make you go, hey, didn't you get coverage?
Also, it was utterly...
He was trying to cover it up.
It was utterly bizarre because they used Spader's stunt double to walk perfectly safely down some stairs, and yet when it came to Spader having to abseil down a building, he did it himself.
And he jumped off the roof and rolls too. That was him, because that was one shot. Jumped off the roof, rolled up, stood up, and it was Spader.
Yeah.
Well, because he didn't get coverage of the guy walking down the stairs. I'm telling you, this is what happened.
So the stunt double's like, so wait a minute, Spader's going to jump off the roof, he's fine with that, but walking downstairs...
Either that, or the stunt double was like the director's cousin or something. Right. Do you know what I mean? He's like, no, I'm not jumping off a fucking roof.
Yeah, probably.
Get me walking down some stairs.
Yeah.
We don't really know. Get me, or tell Mum, if you don't film me walking down some stairs.
Tell Mum. I love it.
I'm telling you, I'm starting to feel sorry for this.
No. Now, I think the constant reminders, though, I honestly think the constant reminders was a studio decision. I think the studio told the editor, make sure everyone understands what's going on, because these serial killer things are all about psychology are a bit baffling. I honestly think that was a studio decision.
There was something that
I wouldn't be surprised if Universal didn't put that in after they bought it, and they watched it and went, I don't understand what's going on here.
I don't know.
Even though it was perfectly
I don't know, because there was something that wasn't a voiceover. It was like a recap, or...
Yeah, that was just footage they'd shot, but they edited it in as if it was a reminder when we didn't need it. Oh, but hands down, the best bit ever, right, is that... Oh, wait a minute, I've just thought of something else. But okay, hands down, best bit ever, right? The first woman he goes after works in a photo lab in a shop called Snap, which, they tell us, there are thousands throughout the state of Illinois. So, that's... They have a photograph of her, which Keanu Reeves takes in the shop. Hang on a second,
Sorry,
exactly.
Right.
Takes it in the Photoshop, while, by the way, because she's been dicking around with one of these, again, large and shonky video cameras that we had back then, is all captured on a video camera tape that is left on the side, right? So, the video camera captures Keanu's face, captures him taking snaps of her, the whole thing. Right. Then they get the photograph and they blow the photograph up in multiple segments. And the woman in question is wearing glasses. And in the glasses, they get 3 letters, 3, mind you, big neon letters that they work out are an NAP or possibly an RAP in neon with an exclamation point at the end of it, but no first letter. Right? And instead of going, I wonder what that could be, considering, like, imagine if there was a Dunkin' Donuts and all you got was O-nuts in the glass. Or Uts or whatever. You'd go, well, let's have a look. That looks like
also,
a logo.
by the way, you go,
that looks like a
and
light.
the ransom note was written on a donut.
Right. Or
Because,
whatever.
like, they're getting the ransom note as a photograph.
And they know from the number at the back that it was in one of these, like, 1,000 stores in Illinois. So instead of going, well, let's go see if there's some Snap stores around, because surely it's, like, whatever, like, 1 hour photo or whatever, Spader actually looks at it and goes, well, let's not waste time with that, and actually throws the thing away. I'm like, no, the one solidly, don't bother with that. Rather, I think you should go down to the local restaurant where she may have been in the last 2 weeks and interview the busboy.
You're right. You're right, that was bad.
Then,
that was bad.
the fact that Keanu was videotaped never came up.
It never came back. It was so... I remember when they took her back, when he was looking around her flat after she'd been done in, I remember thinking, oh, her camera's going to be here, they're going to get Keanu's face, but they're going to have trouble finding Keanu, just as they've had trouble finding the women.
Right. And also, if he was in the store, why haven't they checked the store inside and out? And if they find a video camera with a tape player in it, they go, well, maybe, like, we're in a camera store. Maybe some cameras were going off. Because they were always videotaping, like when you used to buy the handheld digital camcorders, they were always on, they were like attached by a chain, but you could always like pick them up.
Yeah, you're right. And they were always doing the thing where people outside...
Anything more?
No, we'll just get the check, I think, right?
Yeah, check it.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you always get the things outside the store. People stand in front of the cameras and look at themselves on the telly.
Right. Why would they not? Also, it was in a mall. Why not go like there must be security cameras in a mall? Like there was none of that.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's because when you think about it, like when it gets down to brass tacks, actually, now thinking back over the whole movie.
By the way, these are the FBI.
Thank you very much.
They're not like some
Yeah, they're not like rinky-dink.
fly by night.
He's a terrible detective. You're right. Nothing he does. And then one detective goes, "Yeah, he's high on barbiturates," and doesn't even know where he's, keeping his own hat. And the woman goes, "Like, what are you going to do? This is the lead we've been stuck with." But yeah, you're right. He completely fails to do anything of any use.
He also says to Ernie Hudson, the head of the FBI in that particular precinct or whatever, he goes, listen, it's all in the files, mate. I really can't tell you any more. Right? And Ernie Hudson's like, no, we need you on the case. No, you don't, Ernie Hudson. You're the head of the FBI.
Listen, I know that you walked away from the department 3 years ago, and then therefore you're 3 years behind on procedure. Let's not even talk about you're going to have to get your firearms
test back.
re-upped.
No, he doesn't, because he got it in his drawer at home, along with his barbiturates and his cock injections.
I mean, it boggles the irresponsibility of Ernie Hudson and the FBI office in Chicago.
Ernie Hudson
is breathtaking.
Ernie Hudson, by the way, I would say in the rank of thankless Ernie Hudson roles, of which there are many. This is the most
got
thankless.
to be pretty thankless.
Yeah.
Actually, no. You know what? I don't think this is quite as bad as other roles, and I'm thinking purely of Ernie's personal comfort. Most of the film, he's in a nice office. It's warm. Anybody that, as we both know, because we're talking about student filmmaking here. Clearly, so the standards are like Macbeth, for example.
Sure.
Right? How much would you have given a Macbeth to be given a comfortable office chair?
Sure.
Carpet.
Yeah.
Warmth.
Yeah.
Being indoors.
Well, I was indoors.
In the daytime.
I did have a couch. I was in the daytime. Most of my scenes were done like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because most people had to film at night, outdoors in the rain.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
For 8 hours.
Died in the rain, Roy.
Yeah.
Died in the rain.
Died in the rain. Buried in the rain.
Oh, buried in the rain.
Buried in the rain, Roy. So.
Yes.
I'm saying no. It's all right for Ernie because he was warm and dry.
No. But in terms of acting roles, it's the most thankless.
It's absolutely nothing.
It's absolutely nothing. It could have been.
If he'd sent his brother in, if he'd been sick or couldn't be bothered to go in on a Monday.
If it was Basil Hudson, Ernie's brother.
If Basil turned up and gone, oh yeah, I'm Ernie Hudson, they'd be like, yeah, whatever. Apparently we don't care. Well, so we're basically
It's just a
saying
woefully
it was such a thankless part for Ernie.
For Ernie Hudson,
That really
that he could have sent in Basil Hudson.
Yeah, he could have. He didn't have to. No, quite a lot of people in this film could have sent in their cousins or their brothers,
Yeah.
and I'm guessing the director would not have noticed. 'Cause
I think
he's too busy
Spader did for the
fiddling
walking
around.
down the stairs scene.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
That was Spader's
Maybe that was
nephew
it.
or something.
Maybe there were scenes of like Ernie's stunt double, but Ernie's stunt double was like really, really fat.
Yeah.
And so you go,
And white.
We can't use him. We can't use him.
And fully
I'm
really-
seriously, my whole opinion of the film
Yeah,
completely changed
yeah.
when you reminded me that actually what the film reminds me of is the films you used to make when you were 7.
Yeah, it is. So anyway,
And everything about it has become slightly adorable since then.
yeah, no, look, listen, whatever his name was,
I can't remember his name. It's fallen out of my head.
Jeff Pontiac.
Jeff
Pontiac.
Scanlonson.
Scandalson Pontiac was...
Jeff Pontiac, I like.
Yeah, Jeff Pontiac.
Jeff Pontiac.
Made this
That's
really
what,
good.
that's what he wanted to call himself. He wanted to call himself Jeff Pontiac.
So we have to wrap this up. We have to wrap it up with the Sleaze-ometer, right? And I
Well,
have...
it's only really-
there are
okay.
3 key moments of Spader Sleaze in this.
All right, okay. Well, all I can think of is the...
4 if you count his, obvious perving over Marissa Tomei. But there are 3 key moments.
I'm going to go.
are
I'm
Spader.
going to go with Spader flipping through the lingerie catalogue because I'm convinced it was his idea.
No, there are 3 bits that are his idea.
Okay, all right. Go for
Okay.
it.
First one, lingerie catalogue. You got that one.
Right.
You got that one. Secondly,
You've got to understand, by the way, with the lingerie catalogue, it comes out of nowhere.
out of nowhere.
Everything is like shambling detective.
He's peeling an orange with his thumb.
Peeling an orange, his fridge is empty, he doesn't open his mail.
He throws up on the floor later.
The kitchen is bare, there's piled up newspapers, he's obviously like a shambling detective.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he just starts flipping through a Victoria's Secret catalogue.
Yeah,
for like a while.
Yes.
It's not like a brief thing.
No. And I don't even think he can afford Victoria's Secret. I think it's like the Macy's or the Coles or the Bed Bath and Beyond lingerie catalog.
Joe Pontiac's lingerie store.
Joe Pontiac's lingerie. So that's number 1.
No, it'd be Alf Pontiac.
The
Because that'd be like Joe's uncle. Who like financed the film
He was
through
Jeff
sales
Pontiac.
of lingerie.
He was Jeff Pontiac.
No, Jeff Pontiac's the director. Alf Pontiac is the director's
and you
uncle
said
who runs.
Joe. So you were wrong. It's
Oh,
Jeff.
Joe Pontiac. Oh,
Jeff Pontiac.
Okay, Jeff Pontiac's uncle
Is Alf Pontiac.
is Alf Pontiac, who owns the lingerie store.
Lingerie store, which has a thin paper
And then there's
catalog.
Mabel Pontiac, who runs Snap, the
runs
photography
Snap.
store in the mall.
Sure. So
Everybody's heard of Snap.
the other 2 moments, right, in the movie, I think it's the first time we've ever captured a baby on the podcast. But anyway,
Yeah, we have captured it.
so that's creepy.
We'll be ransoming
The
it
second moment is when he goes into lady who works in Snap's apartment when she's dead on the floor. He's seen thumbing through her portrait, her naked. She does life drawing.
Oh, but there's another one too.
No, there isn't.
Okay, sorry, yeah, I just remembered the other sleeve
When
there.
she does a life, where she's clearly a life drawer, he's thumbing through a picture of some fairly large bird with her knockers out and a minge and everything. He's looking at that, puts that down, and as the camera pans up, on the wall behind him are several other naked chicks. I mean, life drawings, mind you, not photographs, but still, it's a sleaze moment. It's a Spader sleaze moment.
Do you think that their location fell through, so they had to film in Spader's hotel room?
No, I think Spader went, do you know what adds dimension to this woman who lives alone? She's an artist.
Somebody
But
go and
she
draw some
draws,
nude pictures.
she draws nudes.
You know what? I'll just get my nude picture drawer. Alison?
Spader does the drawings.
No, he's got a nude picture drawer on staff, right? On speed dial.
Right.
And every time he needs nude pictures drawn,
Yeah. So,
they're with him stat.
the third, I'll give you the chance to guess.
No, wait. Okay, wait. Every time Spader has a meeting with someone, at some point, someone brings in an envelope and he rips it open. He's still talking.
Yeah.
Pulls out like a picture of a nude fat bird, looks at it, going, "Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I know Keanu's doing it for scale, but it's going to cost $1 million for me." And then puts it back. And that's the V thing. The third one, if I remember really rightly, was a really weird shot where for some reason he's rifling through the dead underwear drawer.
Yeah.
Why?
No, even better than that. It's the homeless woman. They find out that she really used to live at home.
Okay, before that.
Yeah.
What was it that?
No, it was that. You're correct. But it's the fact that he pulls open the drawer and the panty, like it's a drawer in disarray, and the panties are just right there, like big one. And all he does is put his entire hand into the panties and like moves the panties around. That's what it was.
What are you going to learn? We can't find this woman. Oh, we found out she's homeless. She ran away from home. Let's go to her home. What are we going to check? Underpants. Are you sure? Like maybe an address book?
I don't even think he was wearing.
Underpants.
I don't think he was wearing Fred's gloves.
He wasn't wearing gloves.
He just put his hand in it.
You're right. That wins the Sleaze Award.
So basically,
right. No,
even though on the surface this movie isn't sleazy, the first woman, nude life drawer. Second woman, underwear drawer. Third woman, he ends up bonking. We assume.
No, you're right. You're right. Spader's managed to sleaze up a film that previously had no sleeve.
And when he injects himself with the thing, he does pull down his pants and inject like the area above his knob. He could have injected it anywhere. Like he said, I inject head medicine willy-nilly. I'm like, put it in your head then, or in your arm. Even in his buttocks would have been better, but no, he's like, I want a big bruise around my knob, and I want to stick it in that.
Yeah.
He has inserted sleeves into every aspect.
You're right. The underpants moment was so like, it was so. What's he fiddling around with her drawers for?
Yeah.
What have her drawers got to do with anything?
Yeah.
He and the FBI department should be roundly sued for their handling of a case that directly led to the death of two women because of how unbelievably incompetent they are.
Yeah.
And he's apparently more interested in rummaging through their underwear drawers and forgetting where he left his shopping than he is in solving the crime.
And I'm going to leave you with this.
Okay, all right.
The last bit of IMDb trivia I have about this movie.
Hit me.
Someone bothered to sit there and write this on IMDb about this movie.
Okay.
James Spader kind of dislikes Vietnamese food. Period. That's it. That's an actual bit of trivia on this movie. Someone read an interview, heard an interview, whatever it was, went to IMDb with me. Sat down and went. I'm going to type that in. Apparently, James Spader doesn't really like Vietnamese
I wonder if it's to do with this movie because they kept making him eat vast quantities of Vietnamese food throughout the movie. All the time he's thinking, look, all I want is to put my hand in the underwear drawer. I was very clear about that.
For $1 million, though, you can make Spader eat something he kind of dislikes.
As long as he gets underpants and new pictures out of it.
I will eat cauliflower for
Do
$1
you
million.
think, you know how like sportsmen, right?
Yeah.
Like cricketers, they have like a room in their house where they keep like stumps from games where they played well, or balls, or like shirts, whatever.
Right.
Do you think Spader's got like a room in his mansion? There's like, and those are the new drawings and the underpants
From the Watcher. That's the prosthetic leg wound from Crash.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the penis I used.
What would he take? Well, to finish it off then, what sleaze tokens would he take from Jack's back? What are his sleaze tokens from Jack's back?
Oh, good one. Were there like photographs of the prostitutes after they'd been killed? Were there like crime scene nudity?
Yeah, there was the Polaroids. Remember the really weird opening sequence with all the Polaroids.
So he'd have those.
He would definitely have those.
He'd have the he'd have the bodice worn by the prostitute in where he went to buy the gun, who was sat like up on a couch behind.
He would have the sex store gun.
Yeah.
You know what else? He'd have the rope.
Yeah.
That killed him.
That killed him.
Character. He would have the rope.
He would have the
that he
rope.
would then use in disgusting
and
ways.
possibly the
later
pants he soiled while it was happening.
Yeah, he would have the rope, the sex store gun, and the Polaroids. That's what he would take from Jack's back. What about Supernova?
And the woman's nightie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, from Supernova.
Well, given the expression on his face, he would have a bit of like Robert Forster's face
flash.
Yeah. So he'd have a bit of that in a little petri dish.
And a slightly creepy shot through the makeup door picture of Robert Tunney Robin. Why did I call her Robert? A shot through the crack in the door of the makeup trailer of Robin Tunney changing.
I don't think he needs that.
No, he would have that. He would have that because the sleazier the better for Spades.
All right. And what about what's the second one?
Dream Lover. He'd have her
Pearls. He'd have the pearls.
He'd have the
He'd have
pearls.
the pearls.
We both went for the pearls, and we were right. That would be it. That would be it. He wouldn't want anything else from that movie. He'd only want the pearls.
He would only want the pearls,
And he'd
right?
probably wrap them around his knob.
Yeah, the pearls. You're right. So
that's it.
So the pearls. So no. So it's one thing from. He can take one thing from each movie. Underpants from.
Underpants or life drawing?
Underpants. The life drawings he gets whenever
He
he wants
gets whenever
them.
he wants them, 'cause
So
he
the
has to
underpants
start.
clearly meant a lot to him. So I'd say the underpants.
Underpants?
Supernova, Robert Forster's creepy face in a petri dish.
I still say something new with Robin Tunney.
No, but it's got to be something from the movie, not something. Look, I'm sure he's got creepy photos of everybody. Right?
Okay. All right.
So Jack's back is what? Which the Polaroid, the rope.
No, it's got to be
The
something.
sex toy
it's got to
gun.
be something from the sex shop.
It's got to be the gun then,
Okay.
right? Sex shop gun.
Sex shop
and then
gun.
the pearls from.
Yeah.
Right, those
That's
are his sleaze tapes.
That's his
Somewhere
Sleaze-a-torium.
in it, yeah. It's Sleaze-a-torium.
He's got a
The
Sleaze-a-torium
Spader Sleaze-a-torium.
in a basement.
Nice, I like that.
In a slightly unfinished basement. It's finished, but the unfinishedness of it is the finish. That's
See
what
it being like bright and airy, that's what's freaking you out. You know what I mean? He'd be like, he's not even ashamed of this. You'd be so weirded out by him going, oh, just a few of my souvenirs. You go, oh, that's kind of fun, right? Maybe a script or a publicity still. These are the underpants.
from the watcher.
This is the rope that hung me.
Yeah.
This is some fucked up face.
This is a bit of Robert Forster's fucked up. And they'd be like, why? And then he would move on to the next thing. He would move on without batting an eyelid. He would sashay, probably wearing a light chiffon scarf and a top hat or something.
He would definitely be a
just
scarf.
and a waistcoat. He would just slide. He wouldn't even move.
No.
His legs would just slip in like those slippers with the curly toes from
Yes.
Turkey.
Yeah.
He would just have those on, and he would just glide ever so sensually over to the next frame, and he would be like, and these are the pearls that Majid Hammock wore when I was taking her roughly from behind. Then he would bite his lip in memory and then move on.
Yeah.
There was only one Spader lip bite in the whole movie.
Oh, really?
When he was handed the photo, he was in the FBI offices when they were all humorously stood up against the wall.
Oh, the pointless photos.
Yeah, and then he was handed another photo and he picked it up and he went and did his little like Spader trademark lip.
What I like is
He
how
only did it once though in this movie.
they were receiving, when they asked for tips for the, where have you seen this woman?
Yeah.
They were getting all these calls,
Yeah,
and somehow they ended up exactly where she was,
yeah.
after no one in particular. Like, they just went, yeah, someone might have seen her. All right, let's go there. But that's all they were getting.
Dude, he was interviewing people who scrubbed the pasta off the plates
Yeah,
at the
that's true.
local diner.
Yeah,
He was like, get everyone who works here, including chefs and busboys and the people who take out your garbage.
There were some good
The
lines
guy
there.
called Alf who
There were
cleans
some
your
good lines. He
toilet.
goes, oh, I don't know, it's going to be hard. And he goes, life's hard. That was all right.
No, there were some great lines, and Spader delivered the word fuck in particular throughout the movie very, very well.
Yeah, that's true. And I like the conversation with the cop. That whole bit when the cop's chasing someone else down and Spader goes, you sound busy, should I call you back?
Yeah.
No. Well, he's doing like executing a high-speed chase. That was quite fun.
But
Quite like that.
Spader should be absolute a cocking ashamed of himself for the acting he does when he wakes up. Nobody in the audience knows what's going on. He keeps blinking, he throws up, he gets up, he staggers around the place like someone doing a bad Marcel Marceau impression. And then like goes over to this drawer to get his drugs out of it. The drawer collapses. He's all over the
That
floor.
was weak.
It
The
was
collapsing drawer was
awful.
weak.
It was awful.
It was really cliche and terrible. It was bad.
And if he does it all
But
the
I still
time,
like. But can I just finish by
sure.
saying now that because I feel like we're done with the Sleazy
We're done
Spader
with it.
Springtime,
Yeah,
right?
we are done. This is the last of
I would like to say that I've enjoyed Spader in every film.
Yes.
No question, I've enjoyed him in every film.
Yeah.
But I still haven't seen a good film with Spader in the lead. Given that he's clearly capable.
in the lead
No, I don't mean ever.
Right.
I mean of the ones we chose.
of the ones we chose.
Because he's obviously got so much range.
Right.
And I know that, like, you know, everybody does crap films, fair enough. But other than Secretary and Stargate, I haven't seen Spader be the
And most
lead.
people don't like Stargate.
How do you not like Stargate?
I don't know, but of all the Roland Emmerich movies, it's the one that nobody likes.
That's weird. Stargate's really good.
It's Kurt Russell and James Spader. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it spawned like 3 spin-off TV series, one of which was brilliant.
Right. Well, that's been a pleasure.
It has.
And I have to say, despite the movies not always being up to par, I could easily watch another 4 with you for the show.
Yeah, I probably could return.
We won't.
Maybe next year we could do another Sleazy Spader Springtime.
We could do, maybe.
Because people recommended things that we didn't ignore, by the way.
Right.
It's just they weren't available on Amazon.
The one that Andy Lunn suggested, Driftwood, not available. You can buy it on DVD, but it's like $40 because it's not through Amazon. Like, it's out of print, basically.
Right.
And there's like a German DVD of it you can't even get hold of either. It's not available. I could have sourced it. There are ways I could have sourced it, but I just didn't have time because we literally recorded
So
the one
maybe
that went up today, yesterday.
All right, so maybe next year, if we haven't killed each other, we'll do another Sleazy Spader Springtime.
Well, I would honestly like, throughout the year, in between, like, ones I get to watch screeners and once we go to the cinema to do it again, I would like occasionally like to pick an actor and watch a few movies.
Fine, yeah,
because I really enjoyed doing that with John when we did like Woods
Keaton.
and
Yeah,
Wells.
but I felt like you, with Weller and Keaton and all that, you saw some movies you hadn't seen and really enjoyed. Like you
Right.
were like digging into a forgotten oeuvre.
So maybe you pick the actor, the one you've always liked. Maybe we do who's the guy from Australia you really like?
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. Maybe do a few.
He's a
Sam-
Kiwi.
Okay, from New Zealand.
Yeah, I do some obscure Sam Neill ones.
We could do the John Carpenter in the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah, but I've seen that a million times. I love In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah, but it would be a really good one to do for the podcast.
No, I don't want to see a film I've already seen loads and talk to other people loads.
Rules.
I just want to see things I haven't seen before.
Let's end this bickering again like
Yeah,
a
fair enough,
parent old people.
Okay. Well, I would just like to say I've enjoyed a Sleazy Spader Springtime.
Yeah.
I think Spader's been great, but the films haven't.
Right,
That's
that's your consensus.
my summation.
But it was good fun. We'll be back again next year with Sleazy Spader Springtime 2. However, next week, we don't know if there will be one, but if there is one, it may be a cinematic
Well, we're
one.
hoping to be back in the cinema.
You don't want to see the Green Room, although it has got great write-ups.
I just can't stand new Chekhov.
Okay,
He winds me up.
all right. He probably gets harassed in this movie, though, and beaten up a lot.
He's still going to be the lead, and he winds me up.
You were talking about Anton Yelchin. The other one that's out is The Witch, which I have no interest in seeing, but it has got some quite good reviews.
Well, we'll probably see it one day, but I don't really want to see the cinema particularly.
Okay.
That's one I would want to see with Teresa, I think.
Well,
I think we would really like
I've
it.
not heard of any bad action, sci-fi, or any of those movies coming out, but who knows?
Yeah, but that's the point, isn't it? They get snuck out, you know?
It's a shame, actually.
Dustin Hoffman is...
It's actually a shame, actually, because I
Revenger.
do have a quasi-monster zombie movie to watch before Monday called The Horde with Vernon Wells in it, because, sneak preview, I have an interview coming up with Vernon Wells.
Who's Vernon Wells again?
He was in Mad Max 2, he was in Weird Science, he was in Commando, he was in...
What was he in Commando?
what's the other thing he was in? He's the bad guy at the very end with the big mustache and the chainmail armor.
So he was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Was he?
He was the bad guy in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Same guy then.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's an Aussie, right?
Yeah, he plays the character that he plays in Mad Max 2 in Weird Science when they come out of the sky. Him and the Michael Berryman from Hills Have Eyes. The weird looking dude. And what else has he been? He's been in one other like really high profile thing which eludes me right now. I just saw him in the worst movie ever, which was called Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs. But anyway, that was Sleazy Spader Springtime. You were James Wallace. I was John Cross. And this has been the After Movie Diner. Rate and review us on iTunes, you bastards. Well, thank you for listening to that episode of the After Movie Diner, and wasn't it a corker? I do hope you all thought so. Again, check out the website, www.aftermoviediner.com, for news, interviews, reviews. I can tell you we've got all sorts of cool stuff coming up. We've got an interview with character actress Dale Dickey coming up. We've got an interview with Vernon Wells coming up. We've got reviews of High Rise with Tom Hiddleston and previews of the latest Rob Reiner movie and all sorts of great stuff coming up on the After Movie Diner, so don't forget to check that out. You can also contact us at aftermoviediner@gmail.com or call us at 347-669-0053 and leave us a voicemail, which we will play and answer on the show. Also, if you want to support us, you can always go to www.patreon.com/After Movie Diner. It's the best, easiest, and cheapest way of supporting us. However, if you don't want to do that, click through any of the Amazon banners on aftermoviediner.com when you're going to go and make your Amazon purchases, and a little bit of your purchase with no extra charge to you will come to us. Or you can rate and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, wherever you find the podcast and wherever you listen. So thank you again, and leaving you this week with a song off the album I'm currently writing for Miscellaneous Plumbing Fixtures, which will hopefully be up on Bandcamp by summer some point. And one of those songs is coming up now. Enjoy. It's a lovely day. Go outside. Take this big old world for a ride. Feel what you like, but keep it inside. It'll be alright. You'll be alright. Close your mouth. Open your ears. Never let the cheap seats see your fears, and you will feel fit to burst after so many years. But it'll be alright. You'll be alright. There will be a view to take your breath away, and there will be cold salt waters to clean your wounds. And there will come a time everyone gets their day. There'll be someone waiting in the wings to put all the air in your balloons. No one likes arrogance. No one likes a snitch. And after every one good scratch, there'll be another itch. You won't always have a needle, but when you lose a stitch, but it'll be alright. Yeah, you'll be alright. 'Cause there will be a moment that leaves you speechless, and there will be